Russell Wilson was booed early and then came up big in the second half for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is what they were thinking they might get when they went out and got him as he replaces Justin Fields. They put up 37 points, the most since Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback 3 years ago. Russ accounted for 3 touchdowns and over 250 yards in the air in the blowout win over Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, and the Jets. Look at B-Mac. Oh, look at this guy. Curly-haired Russell Wilson. He's been talking about Russ for a while. Now he's cheering for him on the Pittsburgh Steelers as Pete shakes his head. Pete Prisco and Bryant McFadden with us. B-Mac, how about this narrative changing in just, just a few hours of real time last night from boos in the first half to, wow, he can still play after that second half. Where do you land on this?
Well, I'm not overly surprised because let's keep it real. A year ago, before being benched, basically because of financial terms, he was playing pretty good football for the Denver Broncos. Now, it was about how soon could we see Russ cook. That was the issue. How soon could we see Russ cook? He brought the pots and pans last night to Acrisure Stadium, and it was much, much needed. I think when you look at Russell Wilson, it's just getting acclimated to the game. But, Chris, you talked about our fans. We have very, very impatient fans. They're very, very spoiled. I mean, if you've been rooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers your entire lifetime and you're a legit adult, it's safe to say you've seen a few Super Bowls, right? That's what you want and that's what you expect. And that's why the standard is the standard for the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes to their fan base. But for Russell Wilson, this was a great intro into what he can bring to the table for this organization on the offensive side. I mean, unbelievable game. When you talk about his opening game as a Pittsburgh Steeler, no one thought he would go out and do what he did. I just wanted to see Chris, serviceable action from Russell Wilson. But when he got acclimated and comfortable within this offense, he was taking shots on the football field, something that we haven't seen over the last few opportunities with the last few starting quarterbacks, and he was connecting on those said shots. So if he can continue to have that mindset and push the football down the football field, and most importantly, Pete, protect the football, we have a legit fighting chance.
Pete?
Well, okay, let's first start by saying B-Mac was in the studio on Sunday, and before we got on the set, I asked him who should be starting at quarterback, and he said Justin Fields. So he's changed his tune quickly in one game. Yeah, oh yeah, he wanted Justin Fields to stay in as the quarterback.
Wait a minute, hold on, Chris. I did say that, and I said that based on what we've watched with Justin in winning ball games. But I also stated, Pete, I trust Mike Tomlin. I trust the intellect that he has as a head coach. I trust his ability to believe and know what's best for the team. So I'm going to leave it into Mike T's hands. And I did, and it worked out for all of us.
Yeah, it worked out for a game. I'll give you that. And it worked out actually for 3 quarters because he was terrible in the first quarter. And then the Jets started having attrition in the secondary. And you can cook all you want because early in that game, it was like the nastiest meal any human being has ever made at the stove. It was awful. And you know what? Then he started feeling a little more comfortable. And then one by one, the Jets players started getting banged up in the secondary and going out. And all of a sudden, there it is, the moon ball. George Pickens goes up and makes a great play on it. Look at Russ, he throws the greatest moon ball in history. It was a jump ball. Pickens made the play. Look, the guy did a couple decent things, but let's slow the roll. The Jets defense was decimated by the end of that game, and they got points based on point-blank situations on the interception that was down to the 1-yard line. So it was okay. It wasn't great. He's going to have to show me more, particularly when he goes out on the road.
Pete, I will not allow you to stop my vibe right now. I'm having a great victory Monday. I'm not listening to none of the negative statements that you're giving to me and the Steeler Nation. Chris, I'm talking to you for the rest of the segment. I'm not talking to Pete because he's not going to be a Debbie Downer. It's Victory Monday, baby. We're cooking. We got quarterbacks. We got offensive production. You're not going to stop my vibe. Not today. No, sir,
well,
Pete. I won't allow you to do it.
Look, Pete says this is more about the Jets, I guess, than it is the Steelers. So let's talk Jets, Pete. A couple of Hail Marys they've tried to throw already. They fired their head coach. They changed their play caller. They traded for Davante Adams. What do they do now?
Well, start to come together for one thing. I mean, look, when you have all these things going on week in and week out, as the coach in, as the coordinator in, the offensive coordinator, who's calling plays, and let's go get Devontae Adams, and maybe Mike Williams will be traded, it really separates a team. And that's the problem with the Jets. You can have all the star power you want. If you don't come together as a group, you're not going to win. It's really that simple, and they're not going to win unless they do. But having said that, they've had a lot of injuries. I know they've had to deal with a lot of injuries in the secondary. But having said that, you look at their schedule, Chris, they're going to get on a little bit of run. At Patriots, home against the Texans, at the Cardinals, home against the Colts, Seahawks at home, at Dolphins, at Jaguars, Rams at home before they close out with the Bills and the Dolphins. So, look, anybody who's burying the Jets right now, you're way too premature. They haven't looked great. But the schedule's favorable. They will make a run to maybe make the postseason. The division's done. Forget that, but they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not dead just yet, Pete. I agree with you. When you talk about the New York Jets, number one, they need to get healthy, and they need to kind of get comfortable with the new regime that they have. Also, remember, Hassan Reddick will eventually get to be with the team as well, so that should help the defense. But one thing I would like to highlight in terms of why I believe the Jets, they still have hope. When you look at the divisional race right now, as we see it today, guys, right, the leaders of the divisions in the AFC, you have the Houston Texans, leading the AFC South. You have Pittsburgh leading the AFC North. You have Buffalo leading the AFC East. And then, of course, you go out west with the AFC West, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And then outside of that, Baltimore, there will be a legit, for real playoff team, right? But the teams that have question marks, Chris, Pete, Cincinnati, 3-4. Indy, even though they're above 500, do you really trust what they can do moving forward? The Los Angeles Chargers, they've been winning games the ugly way, not a lot offensively. And when you look at their defense, they have kind of benefited from lackluster offensive play against some of the teams. And lastly, the 4-3 Denver Broncos. So when you look at those teams, do you really trust those teams to sustain their level of success? Because there lies the opportunity for the Jets, to your point, Pete. If they can get on a run with some winnable games and take care of their business, they can find a way to sneak back into the door when it comes to the playoff conversation. Okay,
so the Jets not buried yet, but Pete Prisco is going to add several teams to his graveyard today. Pete, who are you burying here as we move within 10 days of October's holiday, Halloween?
Well, look, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Browns, the Titans, the Raiders, the Giants, the Saints, and the Panthers are all done. And you look at that and you say, well, why are the Saints done? The Saints have had so many injuries. I mean, they're just decimated. That's a shell of a team there, and I don't think they can overcome that. Losing the deep speed on the outside and Shaheed really hurts them for the rest of the season. So I think that's why they're done. The rest of the teams have all kinds of problems. Now you're talking about the Browns not having Deshaun Watson. Oh, wait, maybe they're not buried after all. I mean, look, the bottom line is he wasn't very good when he was in there. But every single one of those teams, they should start really dissecting the draft. And the players, you should start planning. If you're on the East Coast, Bermuda, maybe, maybe Aruba. If you're on the central teams, maybe you go into the middle of the country, go to those Cozumel, and on the West Coast, you go out to the beaches in Mexico because your season is over.
Whoa. Hey, Chris, could I see the teams that Pete has in the graveyard real quick?
Yeah, throw them back up there.
I thought I saw something. I thought I missed something. Did I miss something? Patriots, Browns, Titans, Raiders, Giants, Saints, and Panthers. Pete, now you talk about me being a homer, being biased all the time when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, Chris, do you see Jacksonville on that list?
Yeah, good eye, B-Mac. No 2-5 Jags.
I don't.
And look at the schedule coming up. Look at the schedule, Pete. Come on.
Pete, how is it the Jacksonville Jaguars, they shouldn't be in a cemetery. They should be disco dead. Disco's been dead since the late 70s. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars looking at that schedule, that stretch of games against playoff caliber teams that are playing real good football, and you don't have the Jacksonville Jaguars in the cemetery, in the graveyard right now with some of the other teams that you mentioned. How dare you?
Well, because of the exact reasons why you mentioned the Jets are still alive. I mean, the bottom of the AFC is not very good. If somehow, and look, believe me, I don't see the Jaguars going on a run. In fact, the Jets have a better chance to go on the run because of their schedule. But as of right now, the question is, are you dead in the graveyard? And the answer to that is no, because the bottom of the AFC is not very good. You talked about the Colts. Jacksonville beat the Colts 2 weeks ago. I mean, they're not a good team. They're 4-3. Are they a good team? No. And so that's why I have them still alive. And Miami Dolphins, Tua's coming back, still alive. I mean, so because it's the bottom of the AFC is not very good. That's why, B-Mac. Not that they're a good team, because they stink.
Well, let's go to the very top of not just the AFC, but the NFL and the Chiefs. What more can you say about? I mean, we talk when we rank players. You know, Patrick Mahomes is on a tier all by himself, and then there's a drop down. Is there now a gap between the Chiefs and everybody else this season in the NFL, B-Mac?
Yeah, it is. It is. When you talk about, being a great team, two signs of great teams when you watch them perform. They either show great flashes or good flashes. In both cases, they usually win. And that's what we're seeing right now, because we haven't really seen the greatness from the Kansas City Chiefs, more so on the offensive side than anything. But they're still winning ball games. And when you look at Pat Mahomes' performance yesterday against the San Francisco 49ers, Pete, he didn't wow you, but he made timely plays that they needed to have surface for them to win ball games, a la this touchdown, the run before the touchdown, rushing for 33 yards with 3 pump fakes like he was MJ fadeaway, and then trying to lower the shoulder to get into the end zone on a 4th and goal play. This team is super, super scary because they're not playing their best football. They're dealing with so many injuries on either side of the football field, and they're still 6-0. Think about that. So when you talk about the gap of separation between the Kansas City Chiefs and the rest of the NFL, there's a significant gap, because this is a team that it doesn't matter who's in uniform. They lost some guys yesterday against the San Francisco 49ers in the secondary. These guys came up and got interceptions. It doesn't matter. They're so well coached and so prepared, and they have one of the best playmakers in the game as their quarterback. And that's why when you talk about greatness, they either show you great flashes or good flashes. In both cases, they win.
And now a 2-game lead on the rest of the AFC, as once again the Super Bowl might run right through Kansas City in the AFC. And Pete, they've got the Raiders up next. Take a look at their schedule and tell us when their first loss is going to come.
Buffalo. Late in the season, it's going to be the Bills. That's the only one I can see where they'd have a chance to lose. The rest of those, they run the table. If they win against the Bills, they will run the table and go undefeated. I do not see a threat there. Like B-Mac said, they have the quarterback. When he has to do it, he can do it. He's not putting up gaudy numbers, but he has to go get points. He can go get them. And that defense is playing lights out. They're outstanding. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. Andy Reid and that group are great offensive minds. They're the team to beat, and they have a real chance to go undefeated.
Wow, so you think if they beat the Bills, they're going to run the table and go unbeaten, huh?
I do. I mean, look at that schedule. It is really favorable to have a chance to go undefeated.
B-Mac not buying it?
I feel like if they take care of the business like Pete alluded to, they may sit some guys the final 2 weeks of the season, especially if they have everything locked and sold up. It doesn't make sense. So that could provide a window for a loss. And outside of the Bills, what about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I think that could be a very, very competitive ball game, especially depending on where Tampa is at that time when they play the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Bryant McFadden and Pete Prisco with us here on HQ Spotlight. When we come back, we're going to get Danny Cannell back in here. He's been patiently waiting, patiently sitting by. But he is going to tell us, well, what, Danny? What are you going to tell us?
I'm going to teach Josh Pate a couple things.
Oh, Josh Pate's going to join us, too, and he's got power rankings of the remaining unbeaten teams in college football.